If it is done from my side, I will inform you.
Yeah, hi. So Suresh has the no, within the name itself, it suggests restructuring. Is that something like we are redoing or changing the mix or changing the way it's done, or something like that? The structure is a
So,
defined way of doing, or it is means defined way of doing, like example in a normal parallels.
yeah, yeah. So, I've not been in the session, but as in general, like the structuring part is more or less correlated to the existing organization being restructured in way whether few things which are working is put into a different this thing SPV or a company, and a few things which are not working are kept in a different, basically focusing on some kind of mm, uh, product this thing, or a strategically things bifurcating the company into two different set of entities. Yeah, that's kind of demerger. And maybe in the restructuring as such, uh, uh, changing the current structure, I'm not able to correlate with anything.
In multi-unit environment, once when the units what they are performing are not expected to the level as is uh, conceived by the top management, and they are not in proper sync with each other in terms of resources utilization, in terms of their strategic resources, and uh, they want to actually get into a proper cohesive group, or making the inefficiencies away, and that's why they do restructuring. uh, that is my point. Actually, they want to make it more strategically fit to each other, to gain advantage of the market, placing the company as a whole in terms of industry perspective, in terms of resource utilization, in terms of institutional needs, and transitions taking place in institutions. Uh, they may complement to each other. That's why they do restructuring.
Yes, correct. Prashanta rightly said all the parameters. It is a restructuring is the get the optimum use or optimal use, or maximize our profit or group as a whole, the value increase. For that, we need to restructure the way then we can use the most of our capital enhancement, labor, goods and services which use in the institutional support. So all that is required to get more benefit of of what the company or the group doing. So for that, whatever we need to do, that is a restructuring to implement the strategy in the right direction.
Yeah, restructuring, what you mentioned, is basically financial restructuring. But
Yes.
in strategic parallels, means once we are talking about strategic, then we are mostly concerned about the strategies perspective. You can talk about the allocation of assets among the constituent bodies, or if it is single unit entity, how can you can make it more profitable. uh, so another
Conglomerates is kind of a one group or one company having different sector presence in a different sector, which are completely different in the nature, and still we're part of the one company and one group. So that called conglomerate.
Not necessarily different industry, but it could be a horizontal or a vertical integrated organization.
That is a diversification, but a conglomerate is completely a different
Hello,
sector.
Uh,
guys, am
yeah,
I
you can
audible?
say that, correct. But when we say that if I am producing raw material, which I need to sell in Europe, for example, and then there is somebody who's using my raw material, producing the product and selling in Europe, I'm still getting my Europe sales.
Yes.
So from that perspective, it's a conglomerate who's giving me presence in Europe.
So you are that is the multi geographical presence, right? Yeah,
Correct.
that is the point. And I am talking about the multi sector of different kind of completely
global
different sector.
formula.
No, so sorry, second thought there. Normally in a English parlance, when we say a word conglomerate, it is a kind of partnership that helps you to get your target achieved, right? Uh, if you are talking about business parlance, conglomerate can also mean uh, Tatas or Aditya Birlas, for example, which are having multiple industries. But in a normal strategic parlance, which I've normally seen people using, conglomerate to be somebody who's helping you in doing your business effectively. Mhm.
So diversified is an important word, I think, here, rather than if we say a location or anything, it should be diversified to call itself as a conglomerate.
Yeah, it's diversified in terms of product, in terms of location, both.
So I think Tata Group is best example in India. Hmm.
Reliance is one,
Reliance,
ITC, ITC.
Group.
One of the
Yeah.
biggest. Yeah.
Hindustan Unilever.
It is in only FMCG. It is only
FMC, FMCG.
FMCG.
It's only
Yeah,
FMCG.
they cannot can conglomerate.
Yeah.
They're diversified. Yeah,
So it's the market where it is in the growth phase, and there is a lot of potential to tap. That is in general terms. And
But how we will say the market is in growth phase?
So actually, any market that poses an opportunity to grow your business is an emerging market.
exactly. Where there is a more opportunity or potential opportunity to
market and
grow more.
untapped markets,
Yeah,
untapped markets,
untapped market or potential to grow.
potential,
Potential
correct,
to grow.
correct.
Unutilized capacity or
Not capacity, opportunity. I think opportunity for growth. Capacity can be there. Yeah, like
untapped
Market
opportunity.
which are not reached to the saturation point.
correct. Like it's not like in other words. I think yeah, excluding the developed economies generally.
So for that, whether we need to go with the definition or the grouping which was provided by Professor
Again, your voice is
will
not
do
clear.
so.
Yeah, it's very
I think
far.
you have
I was coming
some.
from very far.
So like I was saying, yeah. So I was saying whether like in our second lecture, the professor which showed us the economics, whether we have to go the definition as per that because there will be some developing market, some developed market. So whether we should go as per that.
Yeah, wherever we talk about AI, ML, Internet of Things, all of these are emerging markets. and they are emerging since last 5-6 years now.
Transaction cost. Because of the institutional voice. The formal structure, informal voice, formal voice, and regulatory issues, political issues, uh, currency risk, and
Actually, it is called regulatory. It is a regulatory control to reduce the transaction cost. Agree, Sureshji. But that auditor, the bankers, all are performing that all regulation are properly installed or regularized in the company, and they are monitoring that. That's why the transaction cost coming down, slowly coming down.
So it is implementers
Agree,
who are framing those regulations.
agree.
So in the cage model, it is A and E. That is what Suresh is talking about.
Indian, I'm just thinking
There are many that I know. So there was a company. And I am from IT sector, so I can talk about them. So IIS Infotech was an organization which was formed by the NASSCOM president in 90s, Saurabh Srivastava, along with Dhanbal and Mohit Goyal. These were like the NASSCOM members who created this company called IIS Infotech that was sold to FI Group UK, Future Information Softwares. This I think at that time it was roughly a billion pounds. Yeah, £1 billion. Yeah, and
Flipkart was acquired by Walmart.
yeah, in on those similar notes, uh, there was an organization called Red Hat Technologies. It was a data
Yeah,
analytics organization, right? Taken over by IBM.
yeah. The Red Hat story is amazing.
Yeah,
The way they sold the subscription model and made it so easy. It was like a very good story. I don't remember, but it's an interesting short story. How IBM acquired it. They still had to address the customers of Red Hat in the same manner. Yeah, I think then we had Novelis, which acquired some aluminum thing, right, from India. That was another thing. Indalco, correct.
Yeah, right.
Hindalco acquired the Canadian company, yes.
yeah,
Majesco,
that was
one
reversed.
entity is Majesco Mastec. One entity, Majesco Mastec, acquired by some foreign PE funds
Yeah, and
around 6 7 years back. 6 7 years back. Majesco Mastec is the listed entity
yeah,
in
Aditya
India.
Birla's in-house KPO called Minax taken over by a company called Concentrix, which was an outshoot of IBM. No, so even if you talk about colas, right? Thumbs Up taken over by Coca-Cola. Thumbs Up was an Indian brand.
Yeah, supposing we want to invest, suppose some foreign investor wants to invest in India, which sector he will choose, which is most attractive? I, in today's environment, I don't find any. Uh, Number one. Number two, there are institutions all over. There are informal, formal institutions. Are they really vibrant? Are they really making the level playing field for foreign investors to come and be comfortable, be confident in investing in India? Why the FDIs are not coming here for so many years? So there are, of course, liberalization we have done, but still, no, but it is, if I consider India is a very favorite destination in terms of demographic, in terms of natural resources, in terms of having English speaking people, and our culture is quite amenable to any foreign culture or foreign people. So why even then? And second thing, do you think that Tata Group, with having so much of 100 plus year history, did much in India? Because they are uh, very big group, having so much of power, having so much of presence in so many industries. Were they aggressive enough? Because the five companies they formed up to JRD Tatas, and thereafter all emerging markets, emerging industries into technology, means IT, communication, and drilling. Of course, drilling is a core sector things, but that also they did not much explore. So were they really aggressive
So,
as far
Prashant,
as
I
India
kind
is
of
concerned?
not agree with that. Basically, if you see Tata, when it was formed, the purpose and their mission continues to be India focused, right? They always wanted to grow the economy of India. So that was the focus of the organization. And when we talk about certain industries where they have tapped the world well, TCS, for example, Tata Telecommunications, for example, right? Yeah. So they have gone beyond India, but um, I understand from a core industry perspective, they would have retained their production in India, but they still export, right? So I think that comment probably is debatable. No need because that's the richest trust play.
They may not have to attract foreign, but they themselves they can invest in India. You see, not to the extent of other people, those who are capturing the market. Tata being present for so many years with so much of good track record, and they did not do much within India. They rather kept away from India. That is my feeling.
We
Lot of core industries are because of Tata's in India.
Yeah, and they have created industry, right? And it's not
So
just that, for example, even to run an airline and acquire an airline, other than the fact it is a pride, I mean,
you
that's the main factor, right? Otherwise, to run an airline, get another
are not
airline
you are not getting my point. You see, Tata Steel is one of the oldest company. They have all the things. They have vertical integration. They have
correct,
enormous power. But Telco, for their locomotives, they still import specific type of steel items. And India as a country, we import lot many steels, variety of steels we import. Why?
correct.
Yes, why Tata did not venture into this to fulfill their own requirement plus the global requirement?
So Prashant,
No,
it
they
also
wanted to
depends on
focus on construction
London,
steel.
also in
Construction steel. I think their focus was on the automotive steel, where there's a lot of companies producing it. The construction steel is where they wanted to be, and they've chosen to be there, right? I think if you see every segment, they've chosen to be. Some things they don't operate, some things they're picked. Again, for automotive, you've already tried and tested. See, when a telco came to the car, for example, we didn't why will a truck company, why will you buy a car from a truck company was the thing. They have changed it over the last 25 years. So they don't want to like go into the end-to-end vertical integration of all the products which go into a particular product, right? That I think many of the big houses have tried to do that. So I think, for example, plastic, Reliance was importing a specific set of plastic, whereas they were making almost everything, right? So I think it's just a demand and supply, and whether you want to get into it and what is the level. See, again, for the other car companies to import from India, till up until 5 to 10 years ago, they had a stigma. So if they had this, then till India went and acquired the foreign car companies, nobody even thought of India as a car company. So if we are making steel for the cars, they wouldn't have bought it. So I think I would give them that benefit of doubt and say, hence they have not
Also, when
reached out.
we talk about steel industry, right, a lot of core material that is required to produce different type of steel is not always available in India, right? When we talk about high speed steel, which is used for manufacturing aircrafts, we don't have that kind of material in India. There are only specific companies which can create that.
yeah, of course, comparative advantage always takes place. Comparative advantage always takes place, and and that comparative advantage over a period of time it changes from place to place.
Yeah,
So
that is true.
I'm not saying it wrong or correct. I'm saying just my feeling is that they are not that aggressive. They were supposed to be more aggressive because this 100%.
So
When you are such a bigger conglomerate, they become lethargic. They have the processes, policies, aptitude of a government employees, right?
Exactly.
Government
Now
company.
you have picked up my word.
Ha.
Yeah.
He
So
That,
again,
that I
see,
kind of
suffers from
there
agree.
is some
complacent.
thinking think tank, some people who do, and some people who just go along with the status.
Correct.
So even, for example, TCS is there. Some of the things TCS does is also phenomenal, maybe at a snail pace, like reforming the passport office and those things. So their thing is to do and not really become the apples of the world. So they have never tried to do that, right?
Correct.
They've always established player. They've come with, like they tried Nano. I mean, how did the industry reward Nano? They tried to make a car with for under a lakh. The industry just wouldn't let it happen, right? So in their own spaces, they have tried something. Now they're trying with an airline and the airline industry to kind of navigate it. Is that not considered aggressive? I think yes. Again, what are we trying to compare it? Will Tata come with an Apple? No. We know that will not happen. Will they come with a new product, invent something? I don't think that'll happen. So again, yeah.
You see, you see,
Correct. And they tried to disrupt the supply chain by acquiring that chorus, right? It was not a great acquisition. Yeah, but it disrupted the supply chain. So would you call that aggressive? I would call that aggressive. Again, what is aggressive is really a relative term to the Indian market.
I just wonder,
So
maybe
the
health sector is
the
one in India. Health sector is
the
one in India.
acquisition of Chorus and this JLR were like uh, single-handedly driven by Ratan Tata during his tenure. So even though those were not looking very attractive in terms of in other terms, but but those were required maybe otherwise if some other competitors would have taken that and they would have scaled up, so then it might have been a difficult task for us, for Tata Group or maybe Tata Steel. Yeah, so during that time it is said. So So earlier, the company in which I'm working, yeah. So the company in which I'm working was usually used to handle all the imports and export for the whole Tata Group during the license Raj and all. But once it is like delicensed or the economy was opened up, so then we were like left open or left to leave it our own this thing. But yeah, then also we have grown up good in terms of trading organization rather than uh, operating as a some arm to the group.
Liberalization, post-liberalization transition, uh, making a balance between the domestic companies and the foreign companies to come and grab market in India was, it was very uh, well thought plan, in the sense that the tariff barrier, trade barrier, all kinds of things were there, but they were gradually removed, so as to give protection to some extent to core companies within India, domestic companies within India, so that the job market is maintained. The immediately there is no threat that once when supposing someone comes from outside and grab the market, and there will be no control over the demand and supply position. So the transition was smooth, but it should have taken another round of maybe the push to the entire liberalization processes, so that you can put India into a global map of developed countries. Still, we are emerging economies, emerging countries. Yeah, exactly. China, there are a lot of they have a lot of issues actually. China is altogether different. As rather, we are in a better position, though their GDP is much more than us, but we are in a better position to actually align ourselves with the developed countries. But it did not happen. It is not happening, or it did not happen. Somehow, actually, we have neglected our education and health and infrastructure, hard infrastructure. Of course, it's coming, but still, health and education is still. you see, whatever you say, the license Raj is not there, there is no problem. But once when you set up a company, I'm just giving a small example. I set up my own company. I'm just giving a small example. Just a second. I have set up my own company, and it has come under MCA. And the moment it has come, I started getting calls from employees provident fund, employees in state insurance. I told Baba, it is I have just company, we have formed that company on so and so date, and it is within bracket. You will see that it is one person company, one person OPC company. So it is a long way to go. And so why you are started asking me? No, no, no. You will have to comply these formalities. You have to comply. So so much of things will come into play, and then you will not be able to concentrate in what you really wanted to concentrate. And to comply all those requirements, it takes hell of a time. So
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. My phone on my phone. They covered a lot in that. I mean, I'm no other additional.
Only thing is that to specific Tata's point of view, only the Ratan Tata and Jerry Tata's ideology is not part of in this session, which is anyway that was covered in the presentation. So otherwise everything is covered.
Eyes are like closing, so it's fine now.
Actually, yeah, it is now 11 o'clock.
Good night.
Please.
Suresh, yeah, supposing if you had to criticize the presentation of Group 7, what are all your points?
Be time come padega. I will not go
Yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah, please, let's be open.
No, I don't think we need to do that. But anyway,
Why not?
No, 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 no,
It's
no, no, no.
academic interest. It is open. This strategy is about how he thinks and how we thought as a group. So there may be differences. There is no issue. Yeah, please. Because you put so many things in your talks, 5 minutes talk,
yeah,
that I could get it. There are certain issues that you are not very comfortable of course, as a group also, we might have missed something. And it was a because we are such a group that someone is from some place, someone is from some other place, someone it's very difficult to coordinate with each other.
Was the biggest challenge, Prasanna, yes, I was agree, and that was the biggest challenge for us. It was a completely different geographical group, group 7.
The last slide was very good. Photos of everybody on the call. It
So
was
Yeah,
just
both
that
like
was good. Now
Sandeep
we came with the dress code, and the professor not allowed to go that up to that slide.
That means you have only issues with short analysis.
एग्जाम में केस स्टडी नहीं आने वाला है ना? नहीं, मैं खाली कंफर्म कर रही हूँ, रिकन्फर्म.
Yes, sir, I am also dropping out. Just 2 minutes.
No, done. More or less, it is done. Actually, I wanted to hear because he spoke about 5 minutes, so I thought, let me understand. We also debated among ourselves, and of course, there is a lot of time constraint, and people are from all around the places, and it was very difficult to coordinate with among each other. And as we talk about that short analysis, whether it will be done 1991 when he took over, or we do 1995. That we talk because now the short analysis, if you observe, it is a mix. The total period is there. The short analysis trying to analyze what are all actually weaknesses or threat, what are opportunities. So that it is totally little mixed, but nevertheless, it gives some perspective. Actually, what are all needed, and perhaps Ratan did it. That is what actually we try to feel. we, we identified, but we have not put into the slide. With this back end, it is there. Back
बात करो उसके बारे में. Should talk about the resources which were used.
which Sandeep, Sandeep, say something. You are keeping quiet. Sandeep Babu.
Yeah, I am listening. See, अभी ऐसा है. The thing is that कि uh, if we want to go in the deep dive in the detail, there are a lot of things we can explain or we can put in the slide. We have a challenge to minimize everything within 20 minutes, and there are also challenge about to, as Prasanta mentioned, keep for which year we select. That was the biggest starting discussion. After that, after I'm coming after all this point slowly one by one. So that is the first thing we have decided for which year we want to select on SWOT analysis and then entire presentation. Then we have very much limited things for the JRD Tata's era. We have so much thing for Ratan Tata era, and we have to think about not only one company of Tata. We have to think about Tata Sons as a group, as a Tata group. Though those things we keep in front, and then start thinking on that point. So value the history. We at that point of time it was rare. We are thinking about in 1995. At that point in time, it was rare. It was a really strange. It was no successful company. No successful company.
18.
No. Successful history is a rare resource. That is later on. Uh, that time was seven companies, only the superstar companies that time, right? Not everyone. And that time only
Still a
23 or something,
and
that much company only. Not. So thing is that I agree. Your points, few points are valid, but in each point we had a detailed discussion why we has to consider this and why that was not. Tata. First is brand. First is the brand.
You see, problem was
Brand.
problem was once when you are doing short analysis, the question was that whether short analysis for Tata Sons, and Tata Sons is for the 5 companies, main companies, and then the other subsidiaries under TIL. So we talk about the companies or should we generalize it? Because we have to talk about the companies and then the identify the strength, weaknesses. That will be a very big mess. So
And we don't have data for that. We don't have data for that.
we had 4B, 4A, it was there. Some data was there, of course, but it
Yeah.
was a mess, big mess. So we decided to be, because of the time constraint, because we had to do 20 minutes presentation and all kinds of stuff. So we thought that, okay, let's let's confine to this and talk about very generalized way. And of course, back end, if you would have questioned all this during session, I would have answered. That's why, actually, I was the person identified for answering all the questions. So that's why I'm asking. Yeah, more about the understanding of yes. Actually, more we discuss among ourselves in open mind, more we criticize among ourselves, then the more clarity will come, and then we can take safeguard and we can use the better words. Actually, it was very difficult for us. Better word, because Sandeep pointed out we have actually repeated 1 or 2 sentences. So somehow they have corrected it. So there are some challenges actually in our group because of the locational problems. intangibles and capabilities.
Yes.
Actually, I sent actually complete list that what are all we can do, because tangible resources its use across the conglomerate is very limited. Maybe to some extent certain value chain. Otherwise, mostly it will be intangibles. Mostly it will.
See, we are thinking. See, the what I want to say here that all the values which you just described, you that is correct. This is the entire everything is considered under the value. But for us or for anyone outsider, or how all those value created or come out from Tata because only because of Ratan. Ratan has started all the things. Ratan has implemented everything, tasks, all the requirement, the no, no, not tasks. Sorry, other than tasks. My mistake is other than tasks, everything is done by Ratan. He has created the expansion mode of the Tata. He has started that and take some strategic decision to sell few sunset companies and increase the fund investment in the company and diversified with more other sectors. So for us, it is not already there. It was created by Ratan Tata.
No, no, no,
No,
no,
it
no.
was there. But the expansion, the name of Tata brand increased after Ratan Tata's come in the picture, and he has to make it a worldwide famous. Yes, yes. No one have a capacity to come out with such a big empire in India at that point of time. We are talking about the era. Yeah.
Krishna,
No, no, no,
just
no, no, no. No, no,
Krishna,
no, no, no,
just
no. Not that big, not that big, not that big, not that big. No, but Birla was when Ratan started, Birla was not that big. Agree. But उसको copy copy करना is was more costly for us, and that's why it is there. Immediate.
yes, among family members. Pankaj.
Can you hear me now? Okay, cool. Oh, you guys are finished? Mm-hmm.
Ye- ye- Yes, professor was covering.
So, but
Mere,
nahi, frankly speaking, I still consider to immediate that was costly affair for anyone to match Tata. Exactly. Then it is not imitable. because after 10 years, Tata become more successful than who is coming behind him. We are not talking about current era. We are talking about that era when it was.
You have not finished yet, Suresh. I thought you have already finished.
Yeah, I had a quick question. अपने like more of a clarification. 4 सेशंस थे, उसमें से 3 पे पेपर है, राइट? एग्जाम में के लिए वो जो
Correct.
दुर्ग एंड कोशा and all that is not included, right?
Saha is not there, but consider one thing that ki in Saptarshis case, fourth session, he has covered all the sessions which Kaushik has taught us. So anyway, it is 7 session.
Yeah. नहीं, मैं तो आज से शुरू करूंगा। मैंने थोड़ा थोड़ा 2-2 घंटे निकाल के रखे हैं कि आज से शुरू करूंगा देखने की क्या करवाया उसने। ओके। कौशिक का पार्ट, राइट? WTP और SOC वाला जो या हाँ। अच्छा अच्छा। कॉपीराइट है उसका। अच्छा, कौन सा वाला है सुरेश भाई? कौन सा कौशिक वाला, कौन सा मटेरियल मैं साइट पे देखता हूँ? Yeah, I'm going there. आपको सारे याद भी हो गए सुरेश भाई? अच्छा। ओके। अच्छा, तो ये मैंने
Pankaj,
लॉग इन
Pankaj,
करके
just
4 PDF
check my camera. Just check my camera. 1 second. 1 second.
ओके गुड। अच्छा, हाँ 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 हाँ, वो 4 PDF लगे हुए हैं वेबिनार्स के अंदर। ओके, आई गेट इट।
ये
फर्म
देखिए, ये जो नीचे
रिसोर्सेज एंड सस्टेन्ड कंपेटिटिव एडवांटेज, और एक वाटर स्ट्रेटेजी, और ये पोर्टर
ये जो
जेनेरिक
चार
स्ट्रेटेजी
पड़ा
इन
है
ब्रीफ।
ना, दिस फोर इज मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट।
कौन सा वाला संदीप?
दिस फोर।
अच्छा अच्छा।
ये ब्लू ओशियन स्ट्रैटेजी देखना पड़ेगा क्या?
Okay. अच्छा अच्छा, ठीक है।
कॉम्पिटिटिव
सस्टेन्ड
एडवांटेज।
एडवांटेज कुछ बता रहा है, फर्म रिसोर्सेज एंड सस्टेन्ड कंपेटिटिव एडवांटेज। एक पेपर का नाम है पोर्टर जेनेरिक स्ट्रेटेजी इन ब्रीफ, और फिर एक वैल्यू चेन का पीडीएफ है कोई इम्पोर्टेंट। ओके।
और वो
और फिर
बहुत
और एक है
डिटेल्ड है।
अनबंडलिंग द कॉर्पोरेशन, कौशिक ने जो डाला।
There वो
ओके
बहुत डिटेलिंग है, बहुत डिटेलिंग है। ये वो चार पांच जो पहले दिखा है ना, वो अगर करेंगे ना तो भी कवर हो जाएगा पोर्टर्स के साथ।
ओके। चलो मैं आज आज ये तो बहुत सारे पेजेस हो गए सुरेश भाई, ये पूरा दिन
इसीलिए
लगेगा
मैं बोला, जस्ट कंसीडर फर्स्ट फाइव ओनली।
चलो